Hey everybody, by all accounts today should be a standard procedure of windshield wiper replacements on a 2019 Jetta using these Bosch Envision windshield wipers. We like these Bosch wipers, they work very well, and we're going to go through these procedures. However, due to a factory recall and a really crappy job implementing it on this side, we're going to have to do some extra work because the person who put these wiper blades back on, the actual arm, first time forgot to put the arm back on, and the second time when we brought it back, put the arm on, but it's like kissing the plastic because it's like 20 degrees too low. Outstanding. Mind you, this is like twice I'm back at a dealer after a factory recall to have a windshield wiper arm put back on, and twice it can't be done correctly. So I'm like, screw it, I'm done. I'm just going to fix this myself. I don't know who they're getting to do this. All these scratches here and everything up on the plastic and the housing, and yeah. So let's do this adjustment, and then we'll proceed on to the windshield wiper replacement. Unbelievable. I know some of you more enlightened folks out there are wondering, well, what do you mean the first time they forgot to put the arm back on? Surely you must have noticed the missing windshield wiper arm. And that's exactly what it means. The arm was in fact there. The nut was not on. It wasn't secured down. And it wasn't raining when my wife had picked it up. So by all accounts, it looked like both wiper arms were there. Until, in fact, a couple days later, it had rained, and my wife went to turn on the windshield wipers, and only one wiper arm was moving. And the knurled end that goes in the wiper blade arm to hold it was actually spinning and was grinding the aluminum in that knurled end where it sits. So it was just a turning, but it was just popping it out of the area where it would have fit in to hold it in place to turn the arm with it. Enough talk. Let's just fix this already. We'll pop the hood. We can see a small detent right over here. If we're very careful with a small flathead, we could raise it with that detent area, and then once we have room, we could raise it a little more. At that point already, get your fingers in, you can lift that cap without damaging or scoring or marring any of the finish, like the mechanics before me, and that exposes the nut right there, and all that wonderful damage. This is 13 millimeter. I don't have clearance for a socket, so I'm just going to use a box end. I'm not going to seat it all the way down so it doesn't scratch the metal of the arm. It doesn't take much force to break tension on this nut, and then once I do, I'll use my fingers to loosen it the rest of the way. At this point, I'll put like a paper bag or a towel or something under the wiper arm in case I slip. I don't feel like cracking a windshield over this, so that's a smart thing to do. And I'm going to lift this arm and see if I could unseat it, given the amount of damage that's already on the knurled end and how it's been beaten in by the technician. I could already see that this is not going to come out without a puller. A lot of them in this case generally don't come out because it's an interference fit. I happen to be using OEM puller 25914. This one will work. You could definitely find a thinner puller for this job. That'll be easier for you, especially if you don't do this stuff too often. Also, you'll need to put the nut back about one turn to center this puller and make sure it stays centered when doing this job. You need to only turn it like once, maybe 1.5 turns just to break tension, and then take the puller off. It's not like you're removing a pulley on the front of an engine. This is just for a windshield wiper arm. Once I got that arm lifted, I back out that nut. Should only be in like a turn. It's not even tight. I don't even know why I used the wrench, but I use my hands. I remove the nut. The arm comes right up. No problem at all. Cleaned up both sides, and I'm going to situate it back on the car. I'm not going to get it right on the first shot. Still a little too high, still a little too low. I want the end of one of the blades to be at right about the same distance as the end of the other blade is the right setting for this. So I'm going to get it set up right and hand tighten down the nut. Take a look again at the adjustment, and then tighten it down tighter with the wrench, and then we'll reevaluate. It's much higher than it used to be. Now in the right position, we see that this is how it's supposed to be correctly. You could actually even lift the blade without bumping into the hood. And now we see it with the hood closed in the correct position as well. Before, you couldn't even lift the blades up. The arm would smack against the hood of the car. It was terrible. This is just fine now. This is how it should be. We can see the arms raised equally without obstruction. The silhouette on the window looks good. Coming around the other side, we take a look and we see that the resting position from the motor stopping looks to be over 2, maybe 3 inches higher than it was before, no longer resting on the plastic. If you look carefully here on the glass, you can see the old line visible below. Last but not least, of course, I dropped that black plastic cap back over the nut, completing this portion of the project. And we're going to be installing the new Bosch Envision wiper blades today. We could see on this car, one is significantly longer than the other. Shorter one will be going on the passenger side, 190E, and we'll be installing that one first. If you could be putting stuff down on the hood like I am, put down a towel or something. Don't get lazy and mess up the paint over putting a couple things on the hood. It's not worth it. Also, put something under the windshield wiper before you work on it under the arm, especially so you don't have to break your windshield if you accidentally slip. Again, not worth it to replace a windshield wiper. See, you smack it, smacks the bag, doesn't smash windshield. Looking at the arm, you'll see a little square button. Push that button in and pull the whole wiper assembly towards you like I have. I'll lay it down here so you can see the square button. I'll bring it in closer. There's that button right there. Pushing that button down, pulling towards you in this motion will pull the whole blade assembly right out of here. And this is why you got the bag under here. If you let go, the spring will snap that right against the windshield. They make the packaging easy to unbox so you don't damage any of the components for the wiper blades. So you can pull the smaller parts out from the top. Once you open the top, you peel back the perforated cardboard in the bottom. Here's the little adapters that come with it. And here's the wiper blade. And I pulled this out of the plastic packaging. For this car, we'll be using adapter number 4. Comes with adapter 2 already on there. I'll use a flathead screwdriver to gently pry it off from the blade. And there it comes right off. There's an arrow pointing a direction. The direction is shown right here. And there's also an arrow on the adapter. So I'm going to snap 4 onto its place so it's sitting just like that. Wiggles back and forth. Looks real good. Then I will slide it into the tracks as the old one came off till it clicks in a position. Remove the bag out of the way and lay it back down. Final inspection to make sure the button is fully seated within that square and everything is fully pushed in. Everything looks okay. Then I remove this sticker from the indicator cover, letting you know when it's time to replace the wiper.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
This side is the exact same thing as the passenger side, except when you depress the button, you can be pulling the entire windshield wiper towards the passenger side. There's that paper bag again, saving the windshield. And the driver's side is using the EN240E.
Oh my god, they're not stuttering.
It's nice, look at that.
Do it again.
Oh my god.
And even.
need fluid.
Once more, please. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?